Hello and welcome. I'm Jo, and this masterclass is all about building a focused, strategic, and purposeful marketing action plan that you can stick to. If you've ever felt like there's just so much that you could or should be doing and you don't know what to choose, you don't know where to focus your time and your attention and your energy to get the right results, there's just so much advice swimming around you and you don't know which way to turn or what to do, this masterclass will give you a system, a toolkit, and some practical workbooks that you can use to actually take control of your time, take control of your marketing, and feel really purposeful and focused and confident in everything that you do in your marketing for the next 3 months. So there's a lot in here. Let's dive in. And I would love to hear how you get on with this and what decisions, what priorities emerge for you. And so please do let me know how you get on, what you decide to focus on, and how this works for you. 3-month marketing action plans. The first thing to say is you can do this at any point. You may be at the start of a new year, a new quarter, a new month, or perhaps it's just today that you've come across this masterclass and you thought, right, I'm going to start now. Start anytime. The idea is that you've got quite a short planning time frame here, just 3 months, to actually find some consistent focus, whilst perhaps in the background you build a longer term strategic plan. This session is divided into 3 sections. We're going to look at clearing the roadblocks. We're going to look at, those are the things that are holding you back right now. We're going to look at the 4 vital ingredients of your successful, sustainable marketing action plan. And then I'm going to give you a workbook and all of the instructions, I guess, that you need to build your action plan around your intentions, your focus, and the time that you have available to you. So first of all, why does consistent marketing feel so hard? Because, it really does. I put this masterclass together based on feedback from business owners, just like you, who all told me that the toughest thing for them in their business right now is having a plan that they can actually stick to. It's not necessarily knowing what to say. It's not necessarily knowing who you want to talk to. It's putting all of that together into something that feels focused and that is leading you to where you want to go. So all of these things that happen, I jump around from one thing to the next. I'm not clear on my main message. It's all in my mind and not on paper. This is a big one. This comes up a lot. It's hard to relate everything back to my ideal client. We all hear this very good advice that all of your marketing should be focused around the person who you most want to work with. But literally, how do you do that? How do you make that happen? Everything seems equally important. How do I prioritize? Particularly when you're on social media and you're getting so much different advice all over the place. It's really important to focus on email. You should be building a website. You should be working on your content. You should be making more connections. You should be networking. What should you actually do with the time that you've got when you're also trying to run your business? I'm drowning in a sea of Post-it notes. This is a common one as well. And I've been there myself. I know how it feels. You want to get those Post-it notes away and transform them into one simple, focused plan. I don't know what I don't know. It's not a big one. This feeling that you're somehow you don't have enough information to start, but you don't know exactly what information you would require in order to get started. And so you kind of keep on stalling. Perfection paralysis, I guess. I don't enjoy it. Another reason. Marketing your business is hard if you're demanding of yourself that you should do things that you just don't like. If you don't like it, it's going to be really hard to stick to it. And how do I join the dots between where I am and where I'm going? And this one, again, it's that feeling that you're trying to reach the top of the mountain, but you just can't see how to even get across the first river or how to find the first path. And this kind of this sense of overwhelm, inadequacy, it ought to be easier than this. It really shouldn't be this hard. You're almost getting in your own way. So these are some of the most common roadblocks. If you relate to any of these, then you're very much not alone. If only I had a system I could stick to. Now, there is no one-size-fits-all system, and I'm going to go into more depth on this as we go along. But what I'd like to support you to do in this masterclass is to build your own system that you can stick to. Not mine, not his or hers, nobody else's, yours. So all of these different experiences are kind of filtered down into these 3 big groups, if you like. The overwhelm, which is effectively fear of missing out. You don't know what not to do. And because you don't know what you cannot do, you get stuck and you do nothing. Overthinking is that planning paralysis. You either have got or feel you need too much information, so you turn in circles in your marketing and you just can't break free. You're coming back around to the same questions again and again and again. stuck in the planning cycle, never consistently in the doing cycle. And overcommitment. This is when perhaps you're already up and running with some kind of a marketing plan. You don't know whether it works or not, but you feel so busy, you feel so engaged in the things you're already doing that you just can't stop. And the destination isn't getting any nearer. You're not necessarily making tangible progress. You don't feel you could add anything else to your burden of marketing activity. You don't know what you could not do in order to do something that works better. So if you can relate to any of these, this is going to help. First of all, then, what did business owners like you say would make their marketing feel easier? What do they actually want? A coherent master plan to focus around, knowing what things to prioritize over others, a checklist of tasks per time period, whatever that time period may be, more confidence, having literally more time. This one, by the way, I cannot give you. I cannot create more time in your day than anybody else. Having a clearer focus. This one I can help you with. Being asked the right questions and held to account. I mean, that's an important one. And having the right people around you really will make a world of difference on this marketing journey. So what I'm going to share with you now are the 4 vital ingredients that you need for consistent, effective marketing in your business. Now, I've told you there is no single blueprint, but these 4 ingredients are common to everybody. If we put these things in place and we really hold ourselves to account on these things, you can be sure of making a more focused, more authentic, more satisfying, and more effective marketing effort than you are feeling capable of making right now. And the first one is clarity. Now, this is a big one. Marketing gets hard when you've got too many missing links, because it's easy to try to find yourself in a position where you're trying to build the foundations of your marketing at the same time as you're trying to actually do it. Your clarity should inform your marketing. And when I'm speaking about your clarity, I'm speaking about the big things that sit behind your marketing activity. Who is my perfect customer? What is my main message? What actually is my offer? When you're trying to work on these big things at the same time as trying to work on the small stuff of getting out a post today, a blog tomorrow, a newsletter on Friday, whatever that may be, you're trying to almost build the car whilst driving it. And that is confusing. So confusing big picture actions with daily actions. And I've got a resource to help you with this. It's the Brand Strategy Action Planner. And you can download this on the same page where you're now watching this masterclass. Looks like this. And the Brand Strategy Action Planner leads you through the main areas that you need to put in place to create absolute crystal clear clarity in your own mind about who you're there for, what you want to offer for them, where you want to go with this business of yours, what the big messages that you want to share. So all of the big pieces. And if you're feeling any uncertainty around any of these, in fact, on each page of the Brand Strategy Action Planner, you're given a kind of little list of multiple choice questions. So you can grade how you're feeling in relation to each of these areas. Fill it in with honesty, transfer all that to the back page, and it will produce for you your prioritized plan, demonstrating where the gaps are in your clarity and where you need to focus right now in order to make your marketing and your business feel much easier. So that's your first task to do after this masterclass. Pushing on then, time, the second really big one. It's common to all of us. And time is the biggest enemy to consistent marketing, I would say, or one of the biggest enemies of consistent marketing. And chances are, if you're a business owner, you are probably not being honest with yourself about how much time you have and how much you need. Literally, you don't have enough of it. You feel that you should be doing all sorts of things. You can't make more time in the day. You're running your business. You're trying to support your clients. You're trying to find more clients, grow your profile, whatever it is you're trying to achieve through your marketing. You just don't have the time you need. So you're not, therefore, being consistent and accountable. Because again, as a business owner, who holds us accountable if not ourselves? Very, very difficult. Which means in turn that your marketing goals are not aligned with your current reality. So what have I got for you? It's a very simple tool, but it is critical. So this is a diary planner, a weekly time planner where I'm going to invite you to either download this as a PDF, or both of these links are in this webpage. You can also download or create your own copy in Canva and fill it in for you. And there's a particular way that I'm going to invite you to fill in your weekly time planner, because knowing how much time you've got will define what you can choose to do in your marketing. And if you're honest enough with yourself here, it will also define what you choose not to do, because what you choose not to do is one of the most empowering choices that you'll ever make in your marketing. Less is more. Do less, do it better. So you're going to start by filling in the non-negotiables. You see this down here, non-negotiables. This is stuff like sleeping, taking the kids to school, doing some exercise if that's your thing, your self-care practice, whatever that may be. This is like the non-negotiables part of your week. Eating, just absolute basics of survival. Then you've got me time. That might be time that you spend, well, okay, I mentioned some of this under non-negotiables, but me time that would include whatever you do for self-care, whether that's exercise, whether it's journaling, whether it's meditation, whether it's, I don't know, music, whatever it is that you do, time with friends, all that stuff that you need just to function as a happy, authentic human being, because I was going to say it's difficult. It's nigh on impossible to build a sustainable business and marketing effort if you're not getting enough of you in your life. So put this in first. Then your client time. Of course, you need time to spend with your clients because that is how the world goes around. That's how your business works. Admin time needs to go in there. So this could be bookkeeping. It could be checking your emails. It all takes time. And it's very tempting to fill up your diary so that everything is taken with what seems more important, which means that literally you're trying to squeeze certain aspects of your business into sort of invisible spaces. We don't want to do that. Having filled in those, there are two types of marketing time that you can fill in: transformation time and maintenance time. And I'm going to talk about this in the fourth section of this masterclass. But effectively, if you think back to what I said to you in the last part about clarity, building your clarity, building the building blocks of your brand. This is transformation. This is the stuff that's building the long-term future of your business. Maintenance time is creating social media posts, creating blogs, going to networking, stuff that you're doing today, tomorrow, this week, next week, the things that have to happen over and over again, as opposed to the things that are more about deep thought that you will think about once and then move on from, and perhaps only revisit in a few months when something changes, once you've achieved a certain goal. They're not things that you're going to have to do on repeat. So just to give you a little live example, this is how mine would look. And so you've got all of these non-negotiables, which are all to do with eating, sleeping, taking children to school, picking up children from school, all that stuff. Client time booked in regular slots, admin time booked in regular slots, transformation time. So this is the time when I'm working on business development type stuff, and maintenance time, which is the regular marketing, communications, outreach, talking to people. Yours will look completely different to mine. But once you've filled in these time blocks, you can begin to grow into them. And this is another important point. It might be that just now your diary is already chock-a-block with all sorts of little priorities that happen at different times, or perhaps you're accepting too many meetings at different times of the day and your days are all getting chopped up into small blocks and you feel you're never getting to the important stuff. If you block out your time according to how you intend to run your week, you can then begin to grow into it by, for example, only accepting networking meetings at a certain time, by making sure that you focus on your client work at certain points, by making sure that your calendar is only open at certain points. You can begin to control your working life in order that you then free up the time you need to work on the transformation and the maintenance that will actually move the needle in this business of yours. Number 3, mindset. Again, as a business owner, chances are you are your worst enemy. And I have to say, for me, the transformation in my business and my marketing only came once I recognized that strategy alone was not enough. Your mindset matters. It is likely that either always or from time to time, you're struggling with issues around your confidence, imposter syndrome, that roadblock that we talked about earlier. I should be doing better, or I should be enjoying this more. So what I'm going to share with you are the big mindset shifts that have made the biggest difference for me, in the hope that they may connect with you as well, because this is such an important part of how you succeed in achieving what you want to do with your marketing. So first shift, it's not about you. Now, one of the things that can really hold many of us back, I think, particularly as business owners, female business owners, if you have an introvert streak, which I certainly do, the sense that you're putting yourself in the spotlight. It's all me, 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 look at me. No, you're the guide, okay? You're only the guide. So even if you feel that you're talking about you, you are talking about yourself only in as much as you are the person who can support your customer to where they want to go. So yes, we do need to see you. You need to be visible because they need to trust you. You need to be a trusted guide. And if you have read Building a Story Brand, then this will be a really familiar concept to you. If you haven't, then I strongly suggest it's a great book. It's well worth reading. And it absolutely fits in with this idea that the customer is the hero of the story. You're there to support the customer in achieving whatever they want to achieve. And if that does mean they have to be able to find you, they have to be able to discover you. Your marketing is in service to the customer. Your competition, and again, as business owners, it's easy to get hung up on the competition, to feel that everybody else out there is doing better, doing differently, that we should be more like this person or that person. Not at all. You are your perfect customer's perfect choice. You are their ideal guide. Any competition out there is just the context in which they're going to discover you. Second one, time. It is on your side. Now, it may not feel that way, but effectively you have got just the same amount of time in the world as anybody else. And this is an affirmation, I guess, a shift that just came to me in the last year or so and made a huge difference. I always have plenty of time for everything that matters. Now, that doesn't mean that I've got time for everything in the world, but it means that I get to choose. And so do you. So you get to decide what matters most to you, and you get to align your time around that. You don't have to be the servant of this hamster wheel. And by working with the time planner that I shared with you just earlier, then you will give yourself the tool to take control of your time in order that you get to make time for everything that matters. If you are realistic, if you prioritize your time and you're consistent in how you use it. Third mindset shift. Take imperfect action. Now, again, this is something that can be very, very difficult to adopt. But one of the best pieces of advice I've received in the last couple of years is you can't get results from things you don't do. Fact. Like, your marketing will not work if you don't go out and do it. All the planning you like in the background will not make any blind bit of difference to your business until you go out there and try it. All marketing effectively is action research. Marketing isn't just about getting new customers, getting new leads, making new connections. It's also with everything that lands with the right people or that doesn't. It's telling you a little bit more about what people need from you, what you enjoy to do, what you like to share, what people want to hear. It's all learning. There's no failure. It's only learning. And there's absolutely no shame in continuing to take action even when you don't feel ready. Because confidence follows practice and not the other way around. I hear this so often. I will start marketing, I will start making videos, I will write a post on social media when I feel more confident. You won't feel more confident until you go out there and do it. So you start and your confidence will grow. And the time is now. Always. If now's the time that you're thinking, you wish things were a bit different, you wish that you felt more confident, you wish that you were seeing more results, there's nothing that you need to wait for to get started. You do it. Okay. So, fourth and final vital ingredient of your successful, consistent, focused marketing plan is focus. And first of all, the bad news, there is no blueprint. I've touched on this before. There is no single set of things that you can do that will 100% yield the result that you want. You know, if there were, then somebody at least would be a millionaire by now on this, and everybody else would be out of business because there would be one single way of marketing, of achieving whatever results anybody wants in anybody's business. It's just not true. There's no right answer. And this is why cookie cutter approaches don't work. Because yes, somebody may sell you the system that they use to achieve their success and their results, but that would have been based on their personal tolerances, what they wanted to do, what time they had, what results they wanted to achieve, what personality they brought to it, what innermost nature they were able to draw on to keep them going when things were hard. All sorts of circumstances that are not the same as your circumstances. But all the time that you try to follow these cookie cutter approaches, you find yourself second guessing and changing tack. Oh, his system isn't working for me. I'm going to try her system. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. Sadly, it won't stick and it won't work until you build your system that works with the time you've got, the energy you've got, the intention that you have, the belief system that you have. So, lack of focus is the number one ingredient that leads to the sense of overwhelm, inconsistent behavior, fear of missing out. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. So this is where I am providing you with the template for building your action plan. When I say the template, more correctly, I guess the decision-making system, if you like, to help you to figure out where you need to be focusing for the next quarter, the next 3 months of your business. And this is the Find Your Marketing Focus workbook, which you'll find again on this webpage, which you can download and work through yourself. I'm going to talk you through this one in a bit more detail because that's what you're here for, right? You want to build your marketing action plan for the next 3 months. And this workbook is going to be your friend as you do that. This is going to tell you where you want to be working and what noise you could just shut out right now and say, right, that's a priority, but it's not my first priority. It's not for right now. So where should you focus for results? This is the question. It's the only important question. Not where did somebody else focus? What did they get? What should you do? And I'm coming back to this idea I spoke to you about before about transforming your business versus maintaining your business. So there are certain elements that you may work on once and then put aside for a reasonable patch of time. These are the things to transforming the way that you show up in your business. Your brand strategy, that takes account of all of those vital ingredients. Who is your perfect customer? What's your message? Where do you sit in the wider context of other options that your perfect customer could pursue? What's your offer? What do you actually want to achieve? What's your big vision? That's all your brand strategy. It's transformational work, and it's something that needs your focus once every so often. After that, it's a question of maintaining it. Logo and visual brand, that will follow your brand strategy. So once you're clear about who you're talking to, what you want to achieve, then you're in a good position to decide, have I got the right visual appearance? Am I coming across in the right way? Your website, again, it can be transformational. It's not something you want to be redeveloping every 2 months. Setting up your social media accounts, so deciding if you want to be present on social media, then where do you want to be present? And does your page or your profile reflect the big message that is threaded through your brand strategy? Does it reflect who you are and what you do? And your customer journey and experience. Once your customers are on board with you, how are you serving them? Are you serving them in a way that's true to the brand strategy that you put out there in the first place, that is therefore going to absolutely delight and surpass the expectations of your perfect customer? These are all transformational things that you'll work on once every so often, but by no means once a week. When I say not once a week, I don't mean you shouldn't set aside time once a week. I mean that you will not be changing it. You won't be throwing it up all in the air and doing it again. Maintenance activities then, these are things that you will work on every day, every week, every month in order to maintain the standing that you currently have, the visibility that you have, and in order to attract the clients who you need like now and next. And so your transformational activity, this is about building the big future of your business. The maintenance activity, this is about building the short-term future. It's about finding your next client, connecting with your next partner, becoming more visible, making those incremental changes that you'll always want to make. So you've got these two aspects of your marketing, and the two things each require time at pretty much every stage in your business journey. What I'm going to give you in this workbook is a decision-making method that's going to help you to see where you should focus. And the first thing to tell you is that I'm recommending that in any 3-month period, just 3 areas of focus, 3 across both transform and maintain is enough. So don't think, oh, right, in the next month, I want to build my brand strategy, my logo and visual brand, and my website, and I'm going to start email marketing, and I'm going to be really present on social media. Burnout. Absolutely not. What's important is to think where you can focus your time and energy realistically, whilst also actually running your business and continuing to exist as a human being in order that you can put in place sustainable change. So for each of these activities in your workbook, you're going to find a decision-making grid effectively. I'm going to invite you to score each element out of 5 against these criteria. So first of all, it'll take me all the way to my big vision. So I know where I'm going. And if you don't, then use the brand strategy workbook to figure that out. My perfect customers love it. So for instance, think about your logo and visual brand. It's a perfect fit for the kind of people you really want to work with. That'll be a 5 out of 5. It's sort of so-so, it's okay for now. That could be a 1 out of 5. Okay. My unique selling points, USPs, shine through this thing. That would be a 5 out of 5. And so if you know that your unique selling point is, I don't know, your background experience as your training in human design, for example, or perhaps it's your It's your backstory. It's your absolute belief that you can make a difference in the world to people in a particular situation, or whatever your unique selling point is that absolutely shining through as soon as somebody turns up, for example, on your website, they know this is for me. 5 out of 5. No clear sense of who it's right for? 0. It reflects my offer. Now, this may seem obvious, but it's not at all uncommon that we set up a social media account, we set up a website, we set up even a customer journey, and we continue to evolve our offer. And without realizing it, suddenly that thing that we built no longer reflects what we actually want to invite people to do when they work with us. So go back and check, does it reflect what you're doing right now? If yes, 5 out of 5. If no, less so. Equally important as reflecting your offer, does it reflect you? And so, yes, it might reflect all the work that you actually do. It might reflect all the services that you sell. But does it feel like you? Do you feel when you visit your website, when you think about your brand strategy and who you're actually trying to reach out to in terms of your perfect customers, does it really feel like, yeah, that's me? That's the way that only I do it, a bit like your USPs. Or could it be anybody at all? So there you go. Again, score it from 0 to 5. And finally, because this is very important, and I've given you a very systematic process here, but we're not automatons, we're not machines. And so the last criteria, do you love that thing? Do you absolutely adore the customer focus that you found and the vision that you're working towards? Do you love your logo and visual brand? Do you love your website? Or do you feel kind of a bit meh about it? In which case, anywhere from 0 to 5. And when you add up all of these scores, for each of these elements, you should have a score between 0 and 30. And what I suggest is that you choose 1 or 2 of these areas to focus on in the next quarter. Now, the other good thing about this workbook is that I have listed these things in a particular order for a particular reason. So in, let's say, 85% of cases, not every case because there is no one size fits all, but most commonly, the order in which you'll find them in the workbook is the order of importance. And so let's say that you've got, I don't know, 15 out of 30 for everything. Start at the top, brand strategy, then logo and visual brand, then website, for example, unless for some reason that really doesn't feel applicable to you. As a guide, work through them in the order that you find them. And then we come to the maintain activities. And for this, same method, but a different set of questions. First of all, whereas pretty much any business will need all of the elements in the transform grid, there could be aspects in here that just aren't for you. And so if, for example, you've decided networking is not my thing, I have no intention of doing any networking, don't fill in that line, you don't need it, that's fine. If you are 100% against social media, and I spoke to somebody just lately who was, okay, don't do that. So that's either a yes or a no for the first box. And then we're scoring it according to this. Yes, I already love it. So I've got an email community and I love creating content with my email community. It's really rewarding. 5 out of 5. My perfect customer will really appreciate it. So my social media, for example, I know that by creating great social media content, I can really connect with the person who I most want to work with. If you're not sure who that person is, then go back to the transform matrix and that's going to come up in your brand strategy. I could get results really fast by focusing here. Now, this is important because in your maintenance activity, the idea is that you are creating the short-term future of your business. And so it's important to make sure that here you're focusing on things that are likely to generate you results now. You're not necessarily, the long-term future is being taken care of on the transform side. This is where you want to be getting your results. And very importantly, are you super motivated to do it? Because that really, really counts. If you're super motivated to do a certain thing, then you will probably stick at it, you'll probably do it well, and you will begin to get the results that you want to see. If you think, well, actually, I don't know, PR and events would be great, my perfect customer, but oh, I'm going to hate it. Don't do it. Absolutely don't do it. And this will give you a score between 0 and 20. And for this side of things, again, I suggest you choose 1 or 2 to focus on in the coming quarter, the coming 3 months. Now, it may be that you've decided there are 2 priorities under transform, 1 under maintain. It may be the other way around. That will depend on where you are in your business right now and what you've put in place. There is rarely any case for having all 3 priorities on one side of the grid, because typically, if you're not transforming things, your business is not growing. If you're not maintaining things, your business is not working. And so both are very important parts of your business strategy and your marketing strategy. And just a couple of final thoughts. And so what you want to achieve is on the other side of the actions that you're avoiding. All of these things that you want from your business can be achieved when you get your marketing shaped up around where you want to go, around what you want to achieve, and around who you really want to serve. So if these are the things that you want, to be consistent, to attract great clients, to grow in confidence and focus, to build the business the way you want it, not the way that some other person says it has to be, to feel proud of what you're doing, and to go from that sense that marketing is this terrible hamster wheel into feeling that you're actually building a future that you want, that motivates you, that you love and enjoy. These are the actions that will help you get there. So your 4 non-negotiables: clarity, brand strategy action planner. Download it, fill it in, use that. Time, weekly time planner. Again, download it or pick it up on Canva, use that. The mindset shift we talked about. Find your marketing focus. So where actually should you focus the time that you've got? Use the workbook to figure that one out. And I've given you a 4th resource as well, which is your monthly goal tracker. Now, this is something that is kind of an extra bonus, if you like. It's something that I find very useful, because when we make ourselves accountable within a fixed time frame, it is easier to stay aligned with what we have committed to do. And it's easier to see what works, because that's really, really important. If you think back to the beginning, when we talked about the 3 overs, and so you've got overwhelm, overthinking, and overcommitment. Overcommitment comes up when we persistently invest our time in things that simply don't work, but we don't feel confident to say whether they're working or not. With this monthly goal tracker, and I've given you the space to fill in basically the goals that you want to use, I've suggested that you may always want to use how many leads you've created, how much money you've actually invoiced, and how you're feeling in each week of the month. You may want to change the whole lot for other measures that make more sense to you, but those are 3 that I think are good in most cases. And set any other goals that you want to work towards in your week, month, whatever. But if you use this, then you will come to the end of each month with a clear sense of what worked, what didn't work, what you learned, what you want to continue with, and what you don't want to do anymore, what you're going to change. Okay, as that's quite a useful tool. You can put it up on your office wall and you can stick to it. So finally, one last thing from me. If you've enjoyed this, and if you feel that taking a non-cookie cutter approach to building your marketing clarity is right for you, then I've got one more invitation to offer to you, and that is to join me in my Launchpad program, which is for authentic entrepreneurs who want to be supported through this whole process of refocusing your offer, your marketing, your message around your superpowers with my support. If that's something that you're interested in, then do drop me a line. You'll find all my contact details at the bottom of this webpage. And I would love to have a chat with you to see whether this is right for you and whether that could help you at the point you're at right now. It's a flexible start date, so you can join me anytime that you're ready. You'll get 6 months of support, and we'll focus across 3 areas. You'll have quick wins, making purposeful changes so you can beat the marketing overwhelm right now. Then we'll do the deep work. We'll make lasting change. This is where we'll work in your brand strategy so that your decision-making feels logical and feels easy. And you will be supported to take accountable action across 6 months, because as you have perhaps experienced already as a business owner, it can be quite difficult to take the actions that you know that you need to take when there's nobody there to bounce things off, when you're doing it all on your own, where there's nobody to hold you accountable, and you can push your to-do list from this week to next week to the week after and nothing changes. So it's a complete 6-month support system to help you to build your business, build your brand, build your marketing confidence. Self-paced learning, one-to-one strategy support, weekly live sessions, structured accountable progress, and an online community to back you up. If that's something that you'd like to know more about, then please do drop me a line and I would love to talk. In the meantime, though, in this masterclass alone, I've given you a whole lot of tools that can genuinely make a difference to how you feel about your marketing and your business over the next 3 months. And I would absolutely love to see how you get on. I would love you to drop me a line and let me know what priorities you've decided on. And I wish you all the luck and all of the results in the world as you put this into action. So Thank you very much for joining me, for sticking with this. And I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.